Vice President Muyiwa Sobo has blamed the lack of information and the false impression that life out there is rosier in Europe as reasons why Nigerians, young men and women, embark on illegitimate trips abroad. He disclosed this to a committee set up to look into the Libya issue. Sobo says that sensitizing these young Nigerians to the true picture of the trials they will face in the illegal trip will curb this menace. With me in the studio is attorney and barrister at law Muyiwa Sobo joining us right now. It's good to have you join us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, it took a report that went viral by CNN for maybe in Nigeria or West Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa to start acting, and it seemed like something new is going on. What is going on in Libya about migrants, sale of migrants, slavery? What is it new?
Of course, it's not new. I think it's deceptive to think it is new. The blame comes to us only because we have ignored this phenomenon for a long time. It's been in the news before. We've seen how these young people will go to Libya, get on this rubber boats. Yeah. It's been on the news forever. The part that is shocking to us now is the slavery part, not the migrant issue by itself. No, that's been on for years. And we've seen it. We've seen it on CNN, we've seen it on international TV. But I think it's being brought forth now only because of this issue of slavery, which I think pricks the conscience of a lot of people.
Okay. Now, we've had statements from the African Union. We have had statements from ECOWAS, all saying that, in fact, ECOWAS precisely say they will not tolerate or they will not accept the maltreatment of their citizens in Libya. But one will ask, when these young people are leaving the country, leaving their own country, whether it's Nigeria or Ghana or Senegal, or Libya, whichever, can ECOWAS countries say they are not aware that their citizens are leaving the routes into Libya?
Well, I don't know about any other country, but ECOWAS will not be truthful if it plays ignorance of this of the situation. And various researchers show that majority of these migrants are actually Nigerians. There are a few from Ghana, have some, from other West African and Cameroon, but a lot of them are from this country. And the government should have known this. But the bigger issue is, what is it that is driving young people to go through that perilous journey through this desert first and then over the Mediterranean, where there's no certainty of safety or of their future. What is it about us? What is it about this country that drives them out? Is it the economic situation? Is it the hopelessness of the situation? And that is what we need to address. The commission being set up to discourage and tell them that life is not rosy in Europe or not, it's not going to work. If you go to Europe and you do menial job, of course, certain things are assured. Health, all those things are there for you to enjoy, even as an illegal immigrant. Now, if you compare that life to what some people are going through here, you can't blame them for fleeing the situation. And so that's what we have to address.
That becomes a motivating factor.
Yes, we have to address that, the economic situation in the country, the educational, the health situation. Well, why are Europeans not fleeing their countries to come to us? Why are we doing this? And then you have to look at these young people. Look at the unemployment rate in the country. I mean, just look at those things, and then you see why people will. Do you know how difficult it is to travel through the desert for days, probably months, before you get to Libya, where you're now faced with the slavery situation? If you're lucky to get out of there, then you get on this dingy boat, hoping to be picked up by one of the patrol boats of the Coast Guard. So, what is it that would drive? I mean, it's like committing suicide. You see death and you're going through it. We have to look at that situation and the choices that are available to those young people in our country, in Nigeria. I don't know about Ghana or anywhere, but here in this country. So that commission must have that as a duty, as a responsibility. It's not just preaching to folks, don't go to Europe, okay, and then we ask you, what's here for us?
Exactly.
You have to be able to answer that question.
So if we're staying back, what is there for us?
What is there for us?
Now, we have the push factors and the pull factor and all of that. But let's even talk about the slavery part of things, where an individual is sold for as little as $400 from the reports we get and all of that. Who are those really buying the slaves?
Well,
and for what?
Those who are buying them are people who need labor, who need cheap labor. Okay, perhaps in Libya and other places. I mean, that's the bottom line of slavery. You need cheap labor, people to clean their houses, mow their lawns, and so on and so forth. And there's the best way to get it is to get someone, pay $400 to somebody, have him do this for the rest of his life. But you know what? When I was watching the clip, there was a question: why is this person who's being sold? Why is he smiling? I mean, it touched me. I was almost in tears because this guy knew exactly where he was going.
Where he's going. He knows the implication of being sold as a slave.
But he would prefer that situation to coming back home to Nigeria. One was interviewed and said, look, I would choose death over going back home because all his friends with whom he went to high school and secondary school are somewhere. Most of them are in Europe making it or doing whatever it is that they want to.
Making it like you say.
Yeah, he wants to get there. So somebody from the perspective of us who are not being sold to slavery or the government policymakers, here's a young man who's been sold and he's smiling.
There's something fundamentally wrong somewhere.
we should be concerned about that.
Good. All right, attorney and barrister at law, Muyiwa Sobo, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Right.